to relax, to really just look at what is that pivot going to be? What is that new norm going to be? And I tell you, I got the garage all cleaned out. We decided to go ahead and get rid of one of our properties down here that we had the opportunity to move forward with or let it go. So we let it go, and we've been cleaning out that house instead of keeping it going. But as I sat here and I went through the weekend and I watched the spring breakers leave, you can see the beaches are totally empty. They're closed. You can't go out and party and do all that stuff. I've seen this morning a few walkers that are there. But I got to thinking about this over the weekend as I was just chatting with my mentors, spending some time with Paige and the kids. We are all coming up to a true reset, if you will, in our personal lives. And I think over the last decade or so, it has all been about the hustle. It's all been about getting as much as we can, living in the moment. And over the weekend, not to get overly spiritual this morning, although man, look at this. I mean, tell me there's no God. This is just great. But think about this for a minute. And some of you guys may not even know this story, but in the ancient Hebrew history, there was a boy named Joseph, and long story short, he was sold into slavery and through a process became the prime minister of Egypt. And each part of his life had some pivoting moments in it. Whereas there's some biblical reference of miracles in there, when you just look at his life, you realize that each step, each flashpoint in his life was a time for him to reflect and say, I need to pivot. I need to prepare for the future. And over the last 3 weeks, as I looked at what's going on here as the escalation of fear, of panic, looking at some of the stuff on TV, chaos in some of these Walmarts, I started to realize that America, Great Britain, Australia, Japan, just about every nation out there where there's this middle class that's on the campaign to go, we have all forgot about some few basic things. And I think now is some times that we're thinking this through. What is your health like? Are you on the obesity scale? How much sugar are you taking into your life every day? Sugar's the number one addictive non-drug there is out there. And I think this is just a moment where whether it's our business life, whether it's our personal life, it's time to pivot, to reset. As I've talked to some of my business partners, some of my associates, my mentors, we all decided to break out of the normal, if you will, of what the world is seeing. Yesterday, I caught just a couple glimpses of some dreary, down politicians. And one politician in particular said a phrase that the rest of the day I just pondered if he realized the stupidity, I don't know another word to use, so just the stupidity of the sentence he said. And the phrase that he used was, I'm going to tell you the honest truth. Now, when you put those two words together, it causes me to wonder, are the other times not honest? Were you not telling me the truth? Is this time you're telling me the honest truth? It's these little things that I'm seeing politicians do that makes me realize even politicians may be coming to a pivot, no matter what side of the fence they're on, to say, okay, I need to bring this back down to earth. I need to stop believing my own rhetoric, believing my own press, if you will. And I think that's the key here. It's time that we enjoy life the way life was supposed to be meant. For like 2,000-3,000 years, the fastest speed that anybody went was like 3 miles an hour as they were walking with each other. Sometimes they might get up to 5 miles an hour if the oxen or the donkey or whatever was pulling their chariots went a little faster. But overall, We just lived a pretty mellow life until around the 1900s when we could get up to 25 miles an hour in some of those cars. And since that moment, it seems like we have just taken a geometric progression up to where we haven't slowed down to say, hey, why am I doing what I'm doing? What is this that's here? You know, Al Bala over the weekend, he's the CEO of Manatech, said, Troy, we're going to join the rebellion. We're going to make sure that every day that we're putting out positive and uplifting information, education, just facts, just loving on our people, because that's what's more important to me than a virus. I can't change the virus. What I can do is maybe help some people shift their mindset and their heart set and have that reset, if you will, to where it's like, look, man, let's not all think we're out here by ourselves. I know yesterday was kind of freaky because it's like, I popped Jetty on his phone. I said, hey, dude, we getting up and going to church? And he's laughing because there was no church. And it's like, and it's just weird. You know, I mean, church was online. Everybody was doing that cool stuff, and that's awesome. But guys, we have to stay connected. We have to stay together. So you've got to jump out there. Longevity's joined us. Health and Body Naturals have joined us. Manatech has joined us. If there's other companies out there that want to join in, if there's other top leaders, we've got Mike Magolick has joined us, Tom Chenault have joined us, Lorraine Williamson has joined us, Brett Matheny's joined us in this deal. We're just spreading it, okay? Because what we're looking for is people that on their walls, in their social media, in the dark social that they use with all the chat bots, we don't want dull, disillusioned crybabies. We don't want the far left conspiracies or the far right conspiracies to cause us to have angst. We disconnect from the TV. Okay, you've got notifications on your phone. If something big is going to come up from your favorite news channel, it's going to pop on your telephone. That's the way it works. But until then, take a break from this. What good book have you been wanting to read that you haven't read? And if you don't read, put on headsets like I do. Listen to it on Audible. Audible is the best kept secret that is owned by Amazon. Okay, Amazon's not shipping except for essentials, and I don't know if books are essentials, but Audible's still up and rolling. You can get the most awesome books. There's a book by John Eldridge that I just picked up that's phenomenal called Take Your Life Back. Who knew that the publication date's going to be during something like this? But in that book, John talks about all of the busyness in our life, the fact that our brain is just constantly going. And he raises a good point. He says, I don't know that humans were ever supposed to take in this much news, this much crap. We know what's happening in Iran to the Netherlands. We know what's happening from Canada to the tip of South America. I mean, when you get all this crap in, it's like, oh my gosh. You know, here we were fixated a few months ago on the fires in Australia, and it was sad, don't get me wrong. But I mean, millions of animals are dying, people are out of their homes. You get enough of that crap, and you know, after a while, your anxiety goes up, your heart pressure starts to rise. That's why I'm sitting here today, just listening to the beach, just listening to the waves. You know, the Abide app. You don't even have to listen to anything that's said in the Abide app. You can just turn on ocean sounds, waterfalls, a little trickle of a creek, a lakeside, whatever you like. And just take time to reset. You know, over the next few days, we're going to be splitting out our podcast. We're going to be splitting out some of the lives, because something that I've gotten to over the weekend, and girls, you can listen into a couple of these, but I'm going to do some men only type of podcast, because I even believe that the men, I'm going to use a word that people get freaky about, the masculinity of men has been watered down to where in times of crisis like this, some men are becoming paralyzed. They don't know what to do. I've talked to so many guys saying, Troy, what are you doing? Are you buying a bunch of guns? Are you buying a bunch of ammo? Are you stocking up on food? No, just living life pretty normal. You know, but they don't know, because as a whole, men and women usually would come together during times of crisis, and do things. And right now, women are coming home from work and saying, whew, finally I can take a little bit of a breather, I can get the house clean. Men are coming home from work saying, I'm scared, I don't know what to do. And I'm not knocking the men, I'm just saying, look, we're gonna have some podcasts and stuff coming up that really focus in on snapping them out of the stupidity factor, I guess, is what I'm looking at. So, join us in this uprising, join us in this rebellion, and say, okay, this is the time I'm gonna take to pivot my life. This is the time I'm gonna take to do a reset. I believe that coming out of this, we're gonna find two major spurts that are gonna take off. One, we're gonna see some moms and dads that say, hey, I can do this homeschooling thing. This is pretty good. I think I got this down now. They've been making fun of us homeschooling parents for years, and now they're finding out, number one, it is not as easy as they make it sound, but number two, life is pretty good when you do that. The second thing we're gonna come out of this with is I think we're gonna see more and more creative people who have said, man, I was able to go out and do some stuff and raise some money for my family. I was able to work from home. I think we're gonna see the gig economy, the freelancer community, I think it's gonna grow. I think there's gonna be some awesome corporations, some awesome industries that realize, hey, with technology today, we can allow people to work from home. I've met so many cool cats right here in Destin who work for Dell, they work for major real estate companies, they work for CPA firms, and they're all working remotely from home now. And all I'm saying, man, I hope this is my new normal because this rocks totally. So I think coming out of this reset, and look, I don't care what your faith is. Don't believe God did the virus. Do not take my words out of context here. But I do think right now was a God-given moment to reset your life, to take a pivot that you've probably been thinking about for a while. You've probably been saying, man, I'm not happy, the joy's gone. I kind of like my job just because I'm good at it, but man, I can hardly wait to get home. See, now's that time that you can jump out of the little comfort zone just a little bit because you were forced to. You're working from home, you can reschedule stuff, get your time management down. That's not easy, I understand. But even me, this has been a time for me to go backwards. For years, I came to the beach every morning and I walked. I listened to podcasts, I cranked it out, I just did it. My weight was 35 pounds less than what it is today because I was walking, I was exercising, getting that vitamin D in. I'd come down here on the beach, so my hips and my agility and stuff was totally different. And I'm sitting there thinking, wow, I go to Maple Street Biscuit Company, and I love those guys. They've been the greatest sponsors of our show. But I'm thinking, I got to pivot a little bit here. I need to get back out to what I totally enjoy, not just hanging out inside drinking coffee and eating breakfast. What good's that doing me or my family? So take this time today to just rock it out. It's not going to happen overnight. You're going to fall back sometimes, but take that time to move your pivot forward. And listen to me. I know some of you are saying, Troy, is it really as bad as they say? Who the heck knows? Here's what I do know. We are doing everything we can to do the social distancing stuff. We don't hang out with friends and family more than, 5, 6 of, we got 7 in the family, don't get me wrong here. But Jetty's got a tight youth group and they want to pray together. They don't just want to do it on Skype and stuff. So, we're weighing that risk and they're going to probably hang out at the office and they're going to be together and there's some things that you're going to find your new normal. But man, don't be going out and partying. Don't be trying to defy the orders that are there. Okay, it doesn't matter if you live in Key West or you live in Ohio. If there's some voluntary, quarantine, if there's these, I don't know what these stay-at-home orders are, but whatever they are, abide by your community because it's not just about you, it's about the other people. And when you got an error, wouldn't it be smarter to err on the side of caution than to just jam it out and say, screw this, I'm gonna go do what I want. You know, I needed to go to Walmart yesterday. They're the one store on the island that has stuff. And I was so proud of my community, because now that the tourists are out for a while, now that all the spring breakers are gone, most of us know each other that are hanging out. So, you know, the sheriff's waving, and we're, John, how you doing? And you know, all the Walmart people, you know, and it was so cool, because we were all, I was just out in the parking lot, but people were lined up about 6 feet apart. When the store opened, it wasn't this mad dash like Black Friday. Everybody just cruised through, got their cart, went and did their stuff. It's kind of hard sometimes to know what quantity you're supposed to have. One day it's 2, one day it's 1, you don't know. And people were so nice. Oh, please, I don't want to take more than what I need. Let other people have it. Store shelves were totally full, except for those, you know, toilet paper and towel. But they were on the shelf too. So people were calmly getting stuff. Guys, in your community, do what you can do. I know Paula Saracara, I always get her name wrong, Paula Sakara up at HB Naturals. They've got love boxes, so they're doing some stuff in their communities up there, and they're giving out. These are the types of things that we can do. Find out what you can do. I saw a couple of doctors in Atlanta, and what they're doing is they're just telling people, it's funny, they made it fun. They went out and bought Corona. I think they bought a 12-pack. They put 1 bottle on each porch. They put a little letter. It said, we hope this is the only Corona you get. Every morning, please put out your list of needs, and we will go take care of that. I thought that was awesome. We see big corporations doing this. I think 5 or 6 of the distilleries in Kentucky have converted over, and they're now doing hand sanitizer. I mean, there's so much that we're coming together, we're doing. So just use some common sense. Don't freak out, and take this moment to reset your life. Take that time to pivot. Number 1, get to know your spouse, okay, your significant other, whatever, okay? Take time to do that. Go on walks. Take time to listen. Don't just talk. Because here's what else I'm going to see, I think, come out of this. We may see the divorce rate go down. Now, we may see the birth rate 9 months go up, okay? But we're definitely, I think, going to see the divorce rate go down, because people are going to slow down and communicate. The men and women, husbands and wives, the family units. I'm trying to be halfway politically correct. I don't know what the Sam Hill I'm saying. But that family, we're going to start talking together again. We're going to start realizing we can rely on each other again. We can trust each other again. Because I think that also, in the hustle, in the go, 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 we've put business, we've put work truly above where the family was supposed to be. You know, again, yesterday, or this weekend, the whole weekend, cleaned the garage that needed to be cleaned. 3/4 of one of the houses we were emptying out, we've emptied out. Had time to redo the living room with Paige. Got a little bit of shopping done. Did the yard work. Hung out with Jetty. Hung out with the girls. Tired as all get out. Had a blast. You can do this too. So hey, we'll probably cram back in sometime around noon, maybe 1 or 2 o'clock today. We may start one of the men's only, lives and podcasts today, not sure, but we will be doing that this week. We will update you on some information that I think is positive and uplifting during all this. That's what we're going to try to do. We're also going to tag a bunch of people over the next week who I know are doing stuff, because what we're seeing is it's not about building your brand, building your business. It's about informing people. And so many great companies, so many great people now are informing people on how to make sure their health is at the finest it can be. How to make sure that their immune systems are the finest it can be. How to help them in their homeschooling, okay? I mean, you all think that teachers' jobs are easy. Welcome to the new world, okay? Because it's not as easy as you think it is. It's some fun times. So we're just going to keep cranking these out. We slowed down. Somebody asked me the other day, Troy, why is your blog, why is your website actually being under maintenance? And it's because we were redoing everything. to get this out, but you can join the news list. Paige told me to make sure we get this back to where it was. You can go to thedoolieslife.com. You can join our newsletter to keep updates on all the stuff that we're getting out right now. But listen, you have to stay focused on the positive side of this thing. Look, you got to be a realist. It sucks. We don't have a clue on all this. Don't know left, right, conservative, non-conservative. None of that matters. No matter what country you're in. Here's what matters: we, the people, can use some common sense, help each other out, keep positive, and move forward. That's the key. And I tell you guys this all the time. On my left hand, which I did spring it yesterday, okay, it says walk justly. You go out of your way to do right with people, to help people. Okay, that's the name of the game. It says it says act justly. It says walk humbly. Okay, you go out of your way to help other people. Okay, take care of yourself first, but then take care of some others when you see people in need. Don't just be out there and be a jerk about all this stuff. And then my third one on my right hand says to love mercy. Okay, there's some people right now, they've lost family members. I've got a dear friend of mine whose mom is in the hospital. She had underlying circumstances already. I don't think she has the coronavirus. It's just the stress and everything else. She may not make it. Okay, it's some tough times. We want to give passion to people, compassion to people. You want to love. You want to have that mercy that's there. Because whether the news looks great because we're under 2% or we're falling under 1%, whatever the case is, somebody's mom or dad or sister or brother or friend has passed away due to this or due to this exacerbating whatever their circumstances were. So you've got to love mercy. And then on my right hand, and I'm a true believer of this, love always wins. It doesn't mean that you're not prepared. It doesn't mean that we don't have wars. It doesn't mean any of that. What it means is we don't have to hate people. Okay, just because somebody doesn't agree with you, just because you see them as an adversary in a debate or an opponent you don't have to hate. Okay, there's way too much hate in the world today. So go out of your way, focus on your life, pivot, join the uprising, join this rebellion of putting out positive information, positive education, focusing this forward. Rip away that human nature of defense, okay? And just say, you know what? We're gonna go out of our way. And this is me. Some of you guys might do this. Here's what I do. Number one, I get up in the morning and I pray. Lord, give me strength, focus, keep my mind open, watch my words, just typical. And then I come out and I'm starting to walk. And I take care of my family and I take care of business, and I'm doing this because we want that. So that's how I want you guys to do it. So man, go out of your way, have some fun today. Okay, take some time to pivot, to reboot yourself. And then, like I said, around 1 or 2 o'clock, we'll probably pop back on with some updated information, giving you some ideas of what companies are doing what, so that you can start helping in your community. What can you do in your little street? Just your few neighbors, what can you do to help out today? That's the key. Hey, we'll see you after a bit.